Hey people, this is Dan Larsson and welcome to the newest Synthesize Sunday episode. In the last episode, we had a walkthrough of my latest track, Vuxem Move Your Body, but I had to stop it at the drop or before the drop because my neighbors start making some weird noises. So it turned out that they are repairing their house and they drilled and hammered and stuff, but thankfully at last they stopped it. So let's continue reviewing and having a walkthrough on this track, but I would say let's have a listen again. So this is the track itself. Okay, so this was a track, and so in the last video we stopped reviewing the intro and the build-up, I believe. And in the drop, I think the most important and most exciting thing here is the sub, because this is what, well, most of my people, most of my friends were excited about. So this is a regular sub, an 808 sub, which sounds something like this. But the thing here is I added an overdrive, and we have this drive knob or drive, what is fader, in the OSR mode of the filter. So if we disable it, or just go back to clean, the sub sounds like this. And I made this sub, or 808, but this is a very stupid name for a sub or an instrument, a bass sound, basically an 808. 808 is a Harvard, well, synthesizer, not a synthesizer, but a groove machine, a drum machine. So it is so stupid to call it 808, but never mind, everybody calls it that way. So it is an 808. I made it an operator, and then I imported it into Serum sampler, sorry. And you know, this is the drive what I added here on the filter, and an overdrive. Also, I just made a cut on the attack to, you know, apply it to the kick basically. This is what I did here on the sub. So I think in the overall mix it sounds pretty awesome, especially with those glides. But without the distortions it would sound pretty bad. So let me show it to you in the mix. So yeah, it's pretty crap, so let me undo everything and let's get back. Control Z. Okay, so here we are again. Okay, so overall this is the sound, and I think it is pretty awesome. It sounds very, very good, cuts through the mix, and especially have that very subby part. So let's go to the basses now. When we finish with the 808 or the sub, we are having, well, a big bunch of basses, but most of them sound the same. And what I did here is made several, you know, instances with some minor changes. For example, the main bass sounds like this. And I made a similar sound in one of my previous Synthesize Sunday episode about a hybrid trap bass. I don't know the number of the episode, maybe it was at around 50 or don't know, I'm not really sure, but I tried to, you know, create the same or almost the same sound on the regular stuff. 2 wavetables, one of them is modulating the other with some bend, reverb, distortion, compression. This is all not very big thing here. So I also applied some slight frequency shifter which evens out especially the lower parts, some EQing, filter, gate, and other dynamics and reverb stuff. Never mind. So this is very, very simple. And what I did here is, as I said before, I applied different variations of this main sound. As you can see, I call it main bass. Here's another main bass. And I have this growly kind of sound. Again, it is a very simple sound with 2 wavetables which have pretty much and huge harmonics with mirror sync, some band reject filtering, distortion, phaser. Not very huge things are here. The wavetable basically is what makes the sound. This is the same sound as I said before, what I had for the main bass, although the only difference is I made some slight changes to it. Yeah, I changed the band value and, well, basically that's it. Not very important changes. Okay, so this section is a cut version of, one of my loop from my hybrid trap pack, I believe, and one of a cymatics loop. I just make them as a layer for each other. So this was the cymatics loop, and I also cut out the very lows because I wanted to use a different low for it, a different lower part as a layer. Sorry, this was a cymatics one. And I used mine, which I made in the Serum, as a top layer. Let me show you what it sounds. Show in browser. So this was the original loop what I made for my hybrid trap pack. So we definitely need that very low, no, not very low, but that lower layer. I also use some, oops, what have I done? I also use some vocal chops, which are very important in trap, as you may know. Also again from a cymatic spec. Not very huge things. Again, I believe this is the same sound. No, it is not the same, but with some very short, plucky kind of bass sounds and a very high frequency. Oh, it's not high. Actually, it's very low. So the main thing here is that stuttering kind of sound with some slight pitch bend. Let's see how it sounds. Yeah, it is the same sound what I am using a little later in the drop, just on an even lower note. It is on G-2. And as a variation I use it here like this. Pretty cool thing, huh? And basically this is it. Again, that layered percussion kind of sound. And in the second drop I changed just slight rhythm on the sound. You know, let me show you the MIDI. I didn't use too much cuts and stuttering and staccato kind of sound. And also I just simply made long, well, sort of long MIDIs. So the rhythm is made in the Serum preset. Something like this. This is what I wanted to follow. And I also use the same sound in the build-up. And in the second drop, or in the second half of the drop, I use a massive preset from one of my older pack. I don't remember, it was maybe the Monster 2, Dubstep Monsters 2, which, you know, makes some pretty nice variations to this very high rolling high pitch shift synth sound. Especially with this vocal cut, it sounds so cool. And basically this is all. The intro and the build-up section is basically, well, it's not very important. The only thing I want to tell you is I use an acoustic drum loop here from Contact. It's an early kit 60s drummer, I think. Maybe. Come on, hop up. Yeah, that's it. You know, just the build-up drums. Okay, so this was it. I hope you enjoyed this little overview of my latest track, or I hope you learned something. This is not really a big thing, and I try to come up with newer songs every, well, half year or something, you know, just regularly. Anyway, in the next video, what I'm planning to upload next week, I would like to give my thoughts about Ableton 10 Beta, because I've been using it for like, I don't know, for several weeks, and I pretty like it, and there are definitely some pretty cool improvements and new things what you know I would like to talk about. So stay tuned and see you next week, guys. Bye bye.